Hey guys, Tara Malarkey, founder of High Ticket Empress and author of the book Seven Figure Coach, How to Build $1 Million Coaching Business with Just One High Ticket Offer. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing Troy and Sarah Hall, and they have their little baby Phoebe there. She is their third, their third baby. And she decided she wanted to also come to the interview. So you might hear her in the background, but welcome guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Tara, for having us.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, we're super.
Tell everyone what the highlight is so far since joining High Ticket Empress.
So far, for us, the highlight is making the 5K and starting our beta group and having 2 members in it, and going from this concept in our head to making it a reality. That for us is insane, and that gets me every day. This is actually happening.
Yeah.
They've definitely built the confidence behind the first 2, getting the first 2 clients at High Ticket is it's just built confidence with us, and we back ourselves with this, and we're enjoying the process. It's tough, but it's also so rewarding when you get that person who comes into your group. They're the right fit, they're invested in it, and we're already seeing really good progress already with the clients in that beta group. So confidence is good. So we just need to keep driving it forward and continuing on.
For sure. Yeah. Just landing those first couple high ticket clients, and before it was an idea and you're like, I don't even know if we can do this. And if people actually buy it to they do, and then they're happy inside, and then it gives you more confidence and momentum for the future. Right.
So,
Definitely.
What I think is so cool though, is your niche and what you guys do. So would you tell everyone what it is that you do?
Go for it. You're the rugby dude. I'll chime in. But
so we help aspiring pro rugby players gain 7 pounds. They cut their 10-meter times, and then they drop their Bronco times, which is a famous fitness test in rugby. So we really help aspiring pros close the gap between kind of where they're at right now in terms of maybe they're working full time, they're going at it alone, and we kind of close that gap and provide support and high performance support for them so that they can get out there and give themselves the best chance at going professional. So they got from minimal resources to having other athletes next to them working in a group setting, and having the coaching they need to be able to give themselves that chance, because a lot of guys and girls don't have much or many resources in their pockets, so we kind of fill that space.
So we're the random rugby niche. This probably has that's really even in the rugby world, it's we feel are we who else is doing this? You know what I mean? Trying to help them in this way and the way you're teaching it too. So we're the random rugby niche, but we're proud of it.
That's the thing with rugby being it's built on camaraderie. So I align that so fully with the group program that we're doing, and
totally.
We've gone away from the one-on-one coaching and bring them into a group setting, because rugby players already love being around teammates. It's a team sport, so it's a natural fit to be able to put them into a group program where we're trying to create that same environment as they're going to get in their team. So we just bring it online. It's the same. It's same expectations around being a good teammate, being a good client, all that stuff. So
totally,
it's really, really cool. It's impactful, which is awesome.
I love it because, what I love about it from a marketer, perspective and a business perspective is that, you guys could have thought, even though you have the expertise, obviously, both of you have many qualifications, I think, in high performance and athletes and rugby and all that stuff. But you could have thought, who has a high ticket program specifically for rugby players or rugby players who are adults who want to go pro, right? And, I remember when the sales team told me about you guys and your niche, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, totally. But it's I knew that it required you guys to be 100% in, because you're going to hit the challenges, right? As you guys did in the first days and weeks. You're I don't know if people are going to buy this. You even heard some people saying, oh, that's too much. And so of course you were going to hit those things. And what you guys did though, was you allowed it to, I teach you to iterate, right? You learn some things, and then you made some changes to the way you talk about it, to how you position yourself, to who you were talking to, right? Which wasn't like kids who needed to ask their parents, but adults who have funds to invest in their goals and their dreams. And so those little things made all the difference. So I just want to commend you. I mean, I know we taught you that in the program, but you guys, you went all in on it, and then you made the changes and iterations very quickly that you needed to see the results that you see now.
Yeah, and you're so right, because I remember us like we having those conversations. Like at first we thought college kids, because that's who we worked with like initially, but it was kind of like it was like a totally different situation getting them as clients versus like how we're doing it now also. And like when we tried to do this high ticket with college kids, and that's who we were targeting, we were hitting all those obstacles like you just said, and it was like, this isn't going to work. Like we need to go, we need to modify this and find people who have the money, who want still what we have to offer, but just like make those necessary changes. And it's been great. And like, yeah, it's just morphing as we go, but it's awesome. Just handing off the baby.
I think so much of this is like around adapting and like evolving as a consulting group. And I think it's definitely like being inside this environment with you guys. It's been like, it's made us ask so many more questions around like marketing and language we're using, and it's helped us really identify like who our dream client is, right? And that's who we want in our program. So like, why are we always thinking of the client we don't want in our program? Because like you can naturally do that, but then it's just a doubt. But when you start thinking about the guys and the girls that are exactly or as close to possible as the ideal person that we can have inside our program, then it's, I don't know, it just builds, it puts a smile on your face. And when you start enrolling that person, it's like, it actually wasn't that hard to do. You get the right people showing up.
And that's like, it's a key point for everyone listening, is like a lot of times you can think that your high ticket program isn't going to sell because of the feedback you're getting from the market. But actually, and what I've said so many times, and it actually really is true, that usually you just need to make a couple shifts in the way you're talking about it or who exactly you're talking to. And it doesn't mean you're changing your niche. You guys, you just have to get clear on who exactly is your target. A lot of times people are constantly talking to, say, low ticket buyers in the way that they're talking about it. They're solving low ticket problems. And you do have to speak differently to a high ticket buyer for them to understand the value. And then of course there's a demographic that is different about a high ticket buyer. You know what I mean? So all these things, we learn. And so what would you guys say? I know there's probably many things, but like, what would you guys say up until this point has been the most pivotal to get to the point where you're generating like, even 5K for the month, or it's probably going to be more by the end of March. We still have a week left. So what would you say is like the biggest thing that has really shifted?
That's a really good question. I'm thinking,
I think
and I'll go.
Big thing for us is being consistent around like outreach. So whether it be social media, whether it be emails we're sending, like we've never been so consistent in getting messages out there. And we're getting better at it too now. They're coming out much easier now in terms of, we're not sitting there like for 4 hours trying to put something together. Now it's just like, I just sent one just an hour ago, I just banged it out, send it out. We're not overthinking it. It's just because before we push the send button, we used to be like, oh, what are they going to think of this? Like I don't really care anymore. I'm just like, we're like genuine, just putting out good message and putting out what we do. Like I think it's a big thing is being consistent and all of the marketing side of things. And I think that's been a big pivot for us versus like dabbling versus being like fully committed to it. It's been massive.
What do you think made that shift? Like joining the program, just like the commitment that you guys went into, just being a part, like going all in.
The investment, 100%. Like we were like, we're not going to waste the
dollar. We're not going to let this go by. We're like, we're going to see this through. And like that, like for me personally, when I watched your ad and your webinar, like there was something there that spoke to me, and it kept coming back, and I was like, I really want to do this. Like, let's figure out how we can do this. And we did. And it was like, we both were committed, and like then going through the coaching calls and like talking to you and talking to each of the coaches and like seeing other people do this and make money. And, that it all like encouraged us, and it made us feel even more committed. And like, yeah, it's something special, like it's kind of hard to say sometimes, but for me, I'm like a deep person, but there's like something special there. And I think like I could feel that, and I wanted to replicate that and give my special thing to somebody else. Like you say, your gift to somebody else. Yeah. And it was like your why got re-emphasized, and that helped, like, for me personally, like push me forward. And Phoebe.
I think you're definitely making that leap and putting that money down, and like when we showed up to the sales call, we were already in.
Yeah,
it didn't really matter. And for us, it's like that's what we want our clients to show up and think too. Like, they're already in. Like, where do I start? They're just looking for the connection.
Yeah.
And so it's been for this program.
Yeah, thank you. And you guys have shown up though and done the work and, been there and asking. And I love, students like you who are like, yeah, this is a big stretch for us to do this. So we are going to do it, and we're going to see it through and like get the results. And like, I definitely have seen that with you guys, like you're implementing and, really coachable, and probably because you're coaches yourself. But, like there is so much wisdom in just like taking the shorter route and helping someone shorten it for you. And so it doesn't take like years for you to figure it out on your own, so I'm just like so excited to see, like, even a few weeks ago when it's like, oh, we have this sales call and this is what they're saying, to now people are buying, and it's like,
yeah,
exactly, you're right. And like you bring up a really good point about shortening the time it takes, because we felt like we were like everybody else that you probably talked to, like stuck in this cycle of like one-on-ones and low ticket things, and you're just like, one day it's gonna work, and then you're like, actually no, it's not. And like this for us came at like obviously the right moment to teach us what we needed to teach, to shorten the amount of time, to now we've made like 5K in only
short amount of time. We made that within like short period of time,
4 to 6 weeks. And like, that would have never happened before.
Because one thing I'd say, Tara, is I think it's like, as I'm doing more sales calls, I feel like the difference between selling a high ticket and then a $97 product, my mindset's now like, it's just as hard sometimes to sell a $97 product. No, you know what I mean? And it's still get the right people in the right room, and that's really hard on that piece, on the marketing, like finding people who are like ready to improve and are ready to like not take a shortcut, but like lessen the time it will take.
Yeah.
To get to their goal. So I'm so
we love it.
We're really enjoying the challenge.
Awesome. I love it. What's next? Tell me what's next. I know you guys, you're still in the program and you're working on things, and we're going to see some big things, but what are you guys focused on right now?
So booking sales calls, like finishing off our, like completing our evergreen webinar, so we can have that rolling 24/7. So we can move into ads, so we can, I remember we talked the other day about this briefly, about, because I'm obviously on the ground in rugby a lot, so I'm always running into people. So the ability to be able to send someone one link and versus scratching through, having a system behind it is really important. So
do the work for you instead of you always reaching out to other people.
Exactly. Like now you're just getting your marketing, your messaging, and what's going to work to bring in the buyers that you want. You have a sales process, you're converting those buyers on the sales call. So then you can just start doing the automation piece, which gives you assets, which makes it a real business, which makes it more where there's going to be leads coming in consistently. And that's when you can start to really rely on your income every month, right? And it's just a numbers thing. If we get this leads, we get this many calls, we get this many sales, and then you can scale it, right? So super exciting. Super exciting. Anything you would say to someone who's thinking of joining and watching this interview?
I'll go first this time. Like I just have to say, like, take a chance on yourself. If you're on the fence for whatever reason, like if it's a time thing, it's like there's never going to be the right time until you decide right now is the right time. You know what I mean? And like money too, it's like it is 100% worth it. You will see the results if you're putting the work in, if you're committing yourself, if you're believing in yourself and you're working on all those internal beliefs. And it's just like, just take that chance. Don't let fear like scare you away, because it's 100% worth it. That's what I have to say. I love it, Tara.
And don't think about it too much too, because like the email I literally just wrote was around like overthinking is going to destroy anyone. So I think taking the leap, and if it's something that feels right and you want to see changes, like sustainable changes, and turn your coaching businesses into something that's long lasting. Because on the other side of that, it can be pretty stressful trying to run a coaching program when you're just not like making consistent income or giving yourself a chance to make the consistent income that you want. So I think, make the leap. Take a chance on it, like Sarah said, 100%.
I love it. I think like that's a word for a lot of people, because on our sales calls, we do, hear that a lot. It's something that, we talk about on our like sales leadership huddles every morning. Just like, how many people, and it's just like such a natural thing for people to kind of say, I'll make this decision tomorrow, or I'll feel better about it. I just need to think about it. And it's become so normalized to say, I really need time to think about it. And like, we've just been talking a lot about how we can talk people through this from a mindset perspective, because usually tomorrow comes and you'll talk yourself out of it. Not that we're trying to push you into it. It's just that, it's better if you actually in this moment with momentum say, you know what, like, I'm just going to throw everything, all my fears out and just say, let's just go. Like, nothing bad can happen here. Like everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not, there's an actual program and coaches upon coaches and multiple calls. And like, how can you not succeed, really?
Right.
But that fear always gets in our way. We think that tomorrow it will feel better, and it will never feel better tomorrow.
It's probably worse if you wait.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then like, there is really truly an opportunity cost, when I think of times that I've done that in my past, like I could have gotten where I am now faster if there were times where I had made decisions to, faster, instead of thinking about it and waiting and thinking I could figure it out on my own. That was like a big one, when you're smart, kind of think, I'm good. I don't need to like invest in anything. I'll just, figure it out. So I just think that that's such a good, reminder for people. Just like jump a little bit more is my like philosophy. Let's be willing, honestly, to fail or it to be the worst decision in life, because in fact, it will likely not be.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I was on a call again, like you say, I actually went back into your training and I went through the objections again. I was trying to find something in there, and I came across, it was something like around this exact topic, around I'll get back to you tomorrow, or I think the timing is not quite right. And you just see the person on the other end trying to like figure themselves out. And I committed to like sending one more message, and this was after I went back to the training, and I sent him a quick audio message just around like some of the stuff we've been talking about. And this was yesterday. And he was like, he went from being like, I can't do it right now, to like, I need to consider this further. So it's like getting good at that. And like, this is where this training is like a separator, because it helps you with that the sales and the skill behind that, and like dealing with the objections on the spot, not just like, because I can't go, let me go to my book here.
Let me see what
but I want to get better at it, and this is helping me get better at it.
It's so empowering, honestly, to be able to lead people past the limiting beliefs that have stopped them. A lot of people, sales has gotten a bad rap. People think it's like, pushy and, blah, blah. It really, I mean, it's just like you're leading someone to their next, you have to believe, obviously, in what you're doing, and which you guys Like, it's so cool when you can really say like, hey, like, I get that it feels comfortable to want to think about it indefinitely until it feels right. But let me just tell you right now, like, that day is never going to come. Like, that day that you wake up and you're like, I'm cool partying with 10 grand, doesn't even matter to me. I'm cool. Like, that's just not going to happen. And it's not designed to happen that way. It's actually supposed to be a scary thing and a scary stretch, you know? And when you can explain this to someone and help them, you know, see themselves differently, it's actually, you know, such a gift.
Yeah. And your stuff too, like for me, because I always thought of sales as like that weird, you know, like, oh, I feel gross, like sleazy type thing. And then I'm like, but that's only from like other things I've watched, seen, life experience, not even experience it necessarily, but just like what you learn from society almost. And I'm like, everybody sells something. Like like you say in your training, oh, kids.
Joking. You're right. I get Sarah stays more calm than I do. I get more.
She's actually okay. Yeah. But
Well, as you should. You're the dad and the protector.
I know, it's like, oh, and there's our baby.
No.
She's okay for sure. That's
We just had to like let
Oh,
you.
you're right.
I know. Sorry, we're like giving everyone's having a heart attack, but you're okay.
Face and these cheeks that are like,
They're very squishable. Yeah. So what I was saying is like, I like your trainings have helped me kind of overcome those like gross feelings about sales, and like I want to get like awesome at it, like the way that you are and the way you train your team, and like, you know, I want to like enjoy it, and instead of like fear it. It's like you want to get sales calls, but then when you do, you're like, oh no, now I have to talk to somebody, you know what I mean? And I have to like know how to handle everything, the objections, and I want to grow from that. I want to grow from that phase and feel comfortable, you know?
We'll close with this, but like like probably like rugby or any sport, you can't get good at it unless you're playing it, right? You can't theorize, or you can't even become super knowledgeable and get good at that, right? This is something that you have to be in it, you have to be doing it, and that's you get better. You can, of course, the trainings help, right? But then it's like training plus being on calls, plus going back to the training, plus having coaches to ask questions to. That is what builds the skill, but you can't just read about it or listen even to trainings and then be like,
you have to
like nothing will prepare you fully for that.
Yeah.
Like for rugby, I think right from that moment you get on the field with live players trying to get you, like you've got to. Yes, you can be prepared. You can get to a certain point, but you've got to like be in those moments to be able to get better at it. And that's just like what a sales call is.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's definitely
spontaneous moments that you can't even design. Just like even every day we're talking with the sales team for High Ticket Empress, and I mean everything it's always different. Even though we run a call pretty much the same every time. You know, every person is different. So when you're dealing with humans, you can never know what exactly. Right?
No, you're right. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You know, just thank you for being a great part of High Ticket Empress. And I'm sure there'll be a future interview coming up soon when you're a little bit further along. Super excited.
Sounds awesome.
This is awesome.
See you later.
Thank you, Tara.